Safety is one of those roles that you just kind of end up doing everything sometimes, like not just health, safety, environment, quality, security, fire, blah, 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 but you end up getting loads of little, really random stuff that maybe is attached to safety a little bit, but it's not really your role. Maybe you're like testing a fire alarms and you think, should I really be doing this? Is this really what my role is? I can bring more value than just doing stuff like this. In this video, we're going to talk about how to stop doing everything just because you're safety. Let's go. Rebranding Safety. What's up, peeps? Welcome back to Rebranding Safety. Rebranding Safety is a YouTube channel and podcast doing exactly what it says on the tin. We're here to change the perception of health safety. Yeah, right here on YouTube. We do that over on the podcast as well. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the bell. How do we stop safety people doing everything? Shout out to Sam Goodman, who wrote the book Safety Sucks, which kind of inspired this video. It made me think about, God, yeah, I've had some jobs where I've just ended up doing some real random shit that's actually nothing to do with my role. So I thought I'd chuck my ideas and my thoughts onto a video to hopefully help you all, because it's obviously an international problem, because Sam's all the way over on the other side of the pond. Okay, first things first, you and your boss need to get clear on your role. You need to really understand what your role is. And in the interview with David Provan, we touched on this ever so slightly. So if you want to go check that out, go and have a look. I'll put a link in the show notes below. Go and ask your manager, okay, I just want to get clear on my role. Can we sit down and have a little chat about what you think my role is and what I think my role is and see if we're on the same page? At first they might go, huh? You've been here 5 years, how do you not know that? Well, let's just have a sit down. Some good questions might be, what are we actually trying to achieve as a safety department? Or if maybe you're on your own, or as your role, what are you trying to achieve in your role? And if our value or our aim is to achieve this, then how do they see your role and your day-to-day task delivering that aim? So for example, once you've established that, you could then go, well, what about this then? Every Sunday I have to go and brush the yard because we're brushing the yard to make it safe. So it's the safety person's job. How does that help me deliver this? Just an example, but nail down what's the aim of your department, or even better, nail down the aim of your company's values, work out how your department, your safety department, deliver or contribute to those values. Then how does your role contribute to the safety team's aim, which contributes to the company's value? Then once you've done that, you now need to repeat that with other managers, with other departments, because it's common that other department managers think that safety is not their responsibility, it's your responsibility. So it could be the fact that DSE risk assessment or manual handling risk assessment, or even just a task risk assessment for what they're doing, you're doing it. Why are you doing it? You don't know what they do, you don't know how they work. They need to do it. You're kind of maybe having a really awkward conversation, but it's going to be a good conversation in the end. And unfortunately, you might have these conversations and it might turn out that as a company, they just want you to be the person that does safety. And if that's not right for you, then that's cool. Maybe that is right for you, and maybe you enjoy doing all those safety things, and maybe that just works. Maybe it's a smaller business. Maybe it works really well and you as a company are being safe. Just because the examples I give don't really align with you, the exercise still will bring value. So go and do it, go and try. Slight tweaks in your language can have a massive difference. Try correcting people when they say things that might allude to you being responsible for safety, and change it from an I to we. Or even better, in some circumstances, you might need to change that I or we to you, as in, we're the safety professional and we're saying, actually, that's your responsibility. You're the manager, you're responsible for your team. Therefore, that's your responsibility. A really good thing I like to do is when it's good, it's you, and when it's bad, it's we. And that really helps them feel secure. We fail together, but we succeed alone kind of thing is that, you know, celebrate your wins. So if you're the safety professional and the manager's doing something great, go nuts on that. So if they went, James, we've just done a risk assessment. Nice. Yes. How did it go? Oh, love this. Champagne. Do you know what I mean? Just go like crazy. Celebrate that win. When they go, James, we thought you could do the risk assessment because that's your job as safety. You go, okay, so maybe that's not the way we should be doing this. Maybe if we want to assess the risk here, then the best way that we do it is together. So how about I come and do the risk assessment with you? So you guys are doing it and I'm there to kind of facilitate that process. Okay, another tip, the great piece of advice I was given very early on in my career by a manager that I really still respect to this day. I had a manager called Trevor, and Trevor always used to say to me in his lovely Irish accent, and I'm not going to try and do an accent because you know what I'm like with accents. James, if you do it once, you'll do it 1,000 times. So before you do it once, make sure you're ready to do it 1,000 times. And at the time I was a bit like, yeah, all right, Trevor. I was very young, very naive, and now I use this all the time. Oh, sorry, just a quick message from the sponsor of Rebranding Safety, Paradigm Human Performance. And more specifically, their HSE subscription service. If you're a small, medium-sized enterprise, you're constantly spinning plates, and unfortunately, health, safety, compliance can sometimes, well, seem like a bit of a luxury, which normally is fine until stuff goes wrong, and that can normally leave you exposed and pretty alone. Paradigm Human Performance believe that the cost of getting to regulatory, legal and industry compliance should not be out of reach. Their global mission is to make workplaces safer, healthier and more respectful. So if you want a health, safety and environmental compliance system, but one with HOP woven through it, then this is the one for you. If you want to make worker safety the DNA of your organization, Paradigm Human Performance subscription service can make that a reality. Starting from just £99 a month, you'll get all the help and support you need in becoming a more effective, but more importantly, a compliant, a safer, a healthier and more respectful workplace. So please, if this is singing out to you, then contact Paradigm and all of the details are in the description below, and I'll let you jump back into the video. Safe. And the last, and actually probably the most important thing to say here, which Sam does actually mention in his book as well, and I kind of alluded to it at the beginning of the video, is don't be a dick about this stuff. Sometimes you do need to do things just to help the business. Also, sometimes in small businesses, the safety person is doing a lot of the safety stuff. It could be that you do have to check the defib, or you do have to test the fire alarm, and that kind of maybe just makes sense in a small business for you to do that. And there may be nothing wrong with that. The issue is when safety does all safety. So risk assessments is a great example. When a risk assessment is for a team, then that team really needs to be doing that, and you need to be acting as a facilitator. And when you start to separate yourself from doing safety and start to be kind of facilitating safety, enables you to become more proactive and actually manage risks that are coming that are not really planned, or have a look at where we might be missing things. So again, don't be a dick about it. Sometimes you do have to roll your sleeves up and get your hands stuck in, and that's a good thing. The company will see that as a good thing about you, and it'd be a good way to build relationships. But also sometimes in smaller companies, you will have to do the safety stuff. This is a long journey. Don't go in work tomorrow and say, nah, f off, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. You know, just go in and be like, okay, that's something I think I need to remove. So over the space of about, I don't know, a couple of months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, I'm going to try and step away from that. But this is not an over the night thing. Don't go in like a bull in a china shop. Just go in, be strategic about this. And it'll really depend on your company. I hope this has helped you. If it has, hit the like button below. And otherwise, I'll catch you next week in our next video. Safe.